Spurs just sent Carter Bryant a clear message. San Antonio has filled its forward rotation with proven veterans, extended Julian Champagnie, brought Harrison Barnes back, and added Tobias Harris, leaving its 2025 lottery pick without a guaranteed path to meaningful minutes. That does not mean the Spurs have lost confidence in Bryant. It means they are demanding that he become too valuable to keep on the bench. By the end of this video, you will understand why this crowded rotation may actually accelerate Bryant's development, which established Spur he could eventually replace, and the specific skills that could transform him from an occasional young defender into a permanent piece of San Antonio's championship plan. The depth chart explains the challenge. Champagnie earned a new 3-year contract after becoming an important shooter and versatile forward for a finals team. Harris arrived on a 2-year deal after averaging 13.3 points and 5.1 rebounds for Detroit, while Barnes returned for another season as a dependable veteran capable of playing either forward position. Bryant can move between the 3 and the 4, but neither position offers easy minutes. Devin Vassell remains one of San Antonio's primary wings, and Keldon Johnson enters next season as the reigning 6th man of the year. There is no obvious empty spot waiting for Bryant. His opportunity will have to come from taking minutes away from someone who already helped the Spurs reach the finals.
And that is what makes Keldon the most important comparison. Johnson played all 82 regular season games off the bench, averaged 13.2 points and 5.4 rebounds, shot a career-best 51.9% from the field, and set a Spurs franchise record with 1,081 bench points. Bryant is not competing against an ordinary reserve whose role has already disappeared. He would be challenging one of the NBA's most productive bench players and the longest-tenured member of the Spurs. If you enjoy Spurs analysis that separates realistic competition from exaggerated roster rumors, leave a like and subscribe, because Bryant's path becomes much more interesting when we examine why San Antonio may have created this pressure intentionally. The Spurs did not need Bryant to become an immediate star during his rookie season. They needed him to defend, run the floor, take open shots, and survive mistakes without losing his confidence. He appeared in 71 regular season games, despite never starting, averaging 4.2 points and 2.5 rebounds in 11.5 minutes. Those numbers were modest, and his 33.5% shooting from 3 showed that his most important offensive skill was still developing, but the more revealing number came in the postseason. Mitch Johnson used Bryant in all 22 playoff games, including minutes during a run that reached the NBA Finals. A championship contender does not consistently use a 20-year-old rookie in that environment, unless the coaching staff believes he can eventually become something important. Bryant's postseason role remained small, but he rewarded that trust by shooting 50% from the field and 41.4% from 3 during the playoffs. The volume was limited, so those percentages should not be treated as proof that he has already become an elite shooter. They do show that he was capable of staying ready and converting opportunities under pressure. His defense also became increasingly dependable as the season progressed. Johnson praised Bryant's instincts, athleticism, and aggressiveness while continuing to demand more discipline. That combination explains why San Antonio is not creating an artificial opening for him. The Spurs believe Bryant has enough talent to earn a role without the organization removing every obstacle in front of him. His greatest advantage is versatility. Bryant is quick enough to defend many perimeter players, but at approximately 6'6" and 220 pounds, he also has the strength to spend time against larger forwards. That allows Johnson to use him as a defensive problem solver, instead of assigning him one permanent position. On some nights, Bryant could support Vassell at small forward. In more athletic lineups, he could replace a traditional power forward. Against smaller opponents, he could even help San Antonio switch more actions around Victor Wembanyama. The more defensive assignments Bryant can handle, the less dependent his playing time becomes on beating one specific teammate on the depth chart. But versatility only creates an opportunity. Shooting determines whether he can remain on the floor. That is why Bryant's Summer League performance mattered, even after a full NBA season. Following an inefficient 12-point game against Atlanta, he responded with 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting and made both of his 3-point attempts against New York. He also produced 2 chase-down blocks and applied pressure across the court, showing the defensive athleticism that already gives him an NBA-level foundation.
The coaching staff still wants him to improve his ball handling, conditioning, and finishing when attacking downhill. Those areas will determine whether Bryant remains a low-usage 3-and-D option or develops enough offense to challenge experienced rotation players. The defense can get him into a game. Reliable shooting and controlled decision-making can keep him there. This is also why immediately predicting that Bryant will replace Keldon would be premature. Johnson is stronger attacking the basket, more experienced handling physical contact, and already proven as a high-volume bench scorer. He also shot 36.3% from 3 last season, meaning Bryant cannot automatically claim a spacing advantage based on a small playoff sample. Bryant's potential advantage is different. He projects as the more disruptive perimeter defender and may eventually fit more naturally beside Wembanyama, Castle, and San Antonio's other creators because he does not require many possessions. If Bryant becomes the better defender while approaching Johnson's reliability as a shooter, then the balance of the rotation could begin to change. The contract timeline makes that possibility important. Keldon is scheduled to earn $17.5 million in the final season of his current deal before potentially entering unrestricted free agency in 2027. That does not mean the Spurs have decided to let him leave, especially after an award-winning season. It does mean they need to understand whether Bryant can eventually absorb part of his role. If Bryant develops quickly, San Antonio gains flexibility. The organization could re-sign Johnson, adjust his role, or explore other roster decisions without fearing that the bench would collapse. If Bryant is not ready, keeping an established contributor becomes much more important. Next season will give the Spurs evidence, rather than forcing them to make that decision based only on projection. Bryant does not have to remove Johnson from the rotation immediately to make progress. He can take occasional minutes from Barnes when San Antonio needs more defensive speed, reduce Harris's workload during demanding stretches, support Vassell against elite wings, and become a matchup-specific option in the playoffs. A young player rarely receives his complete future role at once. He takes 5 minutes in one matchup, earns 10 in another, and gradually becomes part of the rotation because the team performs better when he is involved. That is the realistic path. Bryant's challenge is not defeating one teammate during training camp. It is becoming useful in enough different situations that Johnson can no longer justify leaving him out. The potential payoff extends beyond one rotation battle. San Antonio already built an elite defensive identity around Wembanyama's rim protection and Castle's perimeter pressure. Adding another long, athletic, and disciplined defender could make that structure even more difficult to attack. Bryant would allow the Spurs to switch more actions, protect weaker defenders, and place multiple disruptive athletes around Wembanyama. That is the version of Bryant who could matter in a playoff series. Not someone who needs 15 shots, but someone who can defend the opponent's best wing, make an open three, and avoid breaking the offense. The roster is crowded because the Spurs intend to contend. Bryant must show that his skill set improves that contender, rather than simply representing future potential. There are two ways to interpret San Antonio's offseason. The negative interpretation is that the Spurs place too many veterans in front of a lottery pick and risk slowing his development. The more encouraging interpretation is that Bryant will spend every practice competing against established professionals while learning exactly what a championship rotation demands. If he is not ready, San Antonio has enough depth to remain competitive. If he makes another leap, the veterans cannot permanently protect their minutes from a younger player who defends better and fits the long-term timeline. The arrangement protects the team without lowering the standard for Bryant. That is the real message the Spurs have sent Carter Bryant. Nothing has been reserved for him, but everything remains available. San Antonio is not asking him to become a star scorer overnight. The team is asking him to defend multiple positions, improve his conditioning, make open shots, and become trustworthy in high-pressure possessions. If he accomplishes those things, the depth chart will not be able to bury him. He can reduce the workload of the veterans, challenge Keldon for a larger role, and establish himself as another young defender built for the Wembanyama era. The Spurs have not closed Bryant's path. They have made the standard brutally clear, and his response will determine whether next season becomes another developmental year or the beginning of his permanent place in the rotation.